A Tyrannosaurus Rex, it's right here. Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton has just become the world's most expensive dinosaur, selling at auction for a record $72 million. The 11-metre fossil, nicknamed Gus, went under the hammer at Sotheby's in New York, selling for almost double its pre-sale estimate. The fossil was discovered on a private ranch in the US state of South Dakota. It took 3 years to excavate and another 3 years to reconstruct. By bone count, it's only 61% complete, but it's still one of the biggest and most complete T-Rex fossils ever. And Matthew McCurry is a senior palaeontologist with the Australian Museum, and he joins us now. Matthew McCurry, welcome. So what was your first reaction when you heard about this result today?
So look, this is happening more and more often, and my first reaction is just that this fossil's probably not going to get to be studied by paleontologists anymore. So when a fossil gets sold into private hands, it means it's often inaccessible for people to come and study. And to be able to study fossils properly, we really need them in a museum where they can sit for a long time, in perpetuity, and people can come back and check on all of the results that people have about the fossils as well.
Isn't it sometimes or often the case that if some really wealthy person does buy something like this, it does actually end up in a museum somewhere for some period of time?
Yeah, so sometimes they're donated to museums, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're loaned to museums, which means they sit there for a few years, but then occasionally get removed from the museum. And I guess that means that scientists can't really do their work properly. So for us to be able to study these fossils, we need to write scientific papers and prove things, but then have people come in and validate our work as well.
But why do you need to go back and back and back over the years? Why is it important that if there's this T-Rex specimen, why is it important it is in a particular museum in perpetuity?
So occasionally it's just for other researchers to be able to check the results, but sometimes it's also because new techniques become available. So maybe, with the advent of something like micro-CT scanning, we can look inside the bones and see new things. And so that allows us to kind of build on the results over time.
And so you're with the Australian Museum. What are examples you've got at the Australian Museum of pieces that are really important that researchers come back to investigate?
Yeah, we have a huge collection of fossils at the Australian Museum. So it's kind of like a library for paleontologists to come and study. We have 170,000 fossils. That includes everything from really early forms of life like stromatolites through to dinosaur fossils and mammal fossils.
And we've got a couple of them on camera now. What can you tell us about them?
Yeah, so some of these are on display in our gallery. So I guess the museum exists for a few different purposes. We communicate science to the public, but also we have this collection behind the scenes that scientists come and study. They're often not as impressive as these big mounted display items here, but they're still really scientifically important.
Yeah, and just go into a bit more detail for us on the examples you've got there in the museum of specimens that that researchers are coming back to.
Yeah, so lots of different things. Like we have a Mattabuttosaurus scapula. Mattabuttosaurus. Yeah. So that's one of the really iconic Australian dinosaurs that people come to study.
Yeah. And you, as well as being involved with the museum, you're a paleontologist yourself, and so you work out in the field a bit?
Yeah. So I'm often out in the field, using a brush, digging up fossils.
What's that like for you to have that balance of working in a museum but still being connected to what presumably your passion is?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I think they're both kind of important things of the field. So I really like getting out and collecting fossils. It's really exciting. Finding something that's really new and that we've never seen before is really an amazing experience. But I also like working in the museum where, I can look after these fossils, make sure they're cared for over time, and that scientists can come and look after them as well.
And I hear you've been doing some work in Argentina. Are there any T-Rexes in Argentina?
There aren't. There are other big theropods though, so things like Giganotosaurus. Other big dinosaurs.
Yeah. So you'll be going for Argentina in the World Cup tomorrow?
I will be, yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, Matthew McCurry, thanks so much for having a chat to us.
Thanks.